everyone. And
did people try to get you to come out?
Yeah.
Or did they
Few
normally?
times.
Yeah. And what did you say? Did you just say no? I can't. I'm studying. Or
I just was like, oh yeah, I'm busy, type of thing, right?
Yeah.
I just kept making excuses. Just I didn't want to socialize, and social anxiety is also called social phobia.
Right.
People need to understand that there's an actual fear of being social.
Right. Yep. What was it that scared you about being social? Can you pinpoint it?
I remember having a fear of just being judged. Like, I would walk through the caf and I'd feel all eyes on me, even if they weren't. Like, I just feel like people were judging me. And,
yeah.
Yeah, and then, I tell my friends that, and people, like, my friends are going to be like, they said things like, oh, they're probably staring at you because they think you're so pretty. And
sure.
Sure. But
Sure.
I didn't think of it that way,
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm. Judgment is hard. I mean, you obviously cared a lot, and this is a lot of people with anxiety, by the way, but you care a lot about what other people think, and it's not like you want to. It's
exactly.
It's just something that you do. And as soon as you can sort of stop, that was a real freeing, empowering moment for me, was when I stopped giving a shit what anyone thought and just started putting it on the internet. Then I could realize, you know what? People they'll either fucking accept me or they won't. And if they don't, that's fine. That's them and that's their life, right? Like, and then I started sort of doing more reading, and I realized that 20% of the people that you meet are going to like you. 20% aren't, no matter what you do. And the 60% could really go either way. So, I mean, they might get mad at you, but eventually they'll come back around. So whatever you do and whatever you try to do, not everyone, you can't be liked by everyone. It's basically impossible. And so just know that and know that that's okay. And as soon as you can realize that, it's kind of a freeing, empowering tool. And you attract a lot of people that don't give a shit either. And that's cool, because those are the best people to be around, at least I find. You don't want to be around someone that's constantly worrying about what other people think. Then they're not themselves. They're a different person with whoever they're around. That's not cool. That's not authentic. Be you, right?
Yeah.
So that's an amazing realization. So first year was a struggle. It sounds like you're just now, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like your life is kind of just beginning in a way. Would you
Not
say?
yet.
Not yet. You still have some work to do?
Yes. So with the social anxiety.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Since I wasn't socializing, I kind of, withdrew from all my friends, and I began to feel really lonely, right? It's just natural with it.
Right.
And so it got to a point where I actually attempted suicide.
Aw, my dear.
I know.
Was that in first year?
It's my first year, yeah.
In your first year. And that, unfortunately, happens to a lot of people that go into first year. I mean, any year, but first year seems to be a big one.
Yeah, because it's a lot of change, right? It's really stressful.
Yeah.
It's so stressful for me, and I just couldn't handle it.
Right. And obviously, thank you for sticking with us. I've lost someone to suicide, and it's really tragic. It's a tragic thing that it affects so many lives, and the fact that so many lives you probably don't even realize. So thank you for staying with us, and thank you for fighting the fight. I know it's not easy. Tell me about what sort of led to that. What was the thought process behind that attempt?
I've never felt so lonely in my life because I was socially anxious, right? I kind of withdrew from all my friends, and ultimately I was very unhappy with my life. I was just very stressed, and I just couldn't deal with my emotions at the time, and I just wanted it to stop. I just wanted the pain to just stop. Right.
So it was just, you were at this point in your life where living was tough every day. Was that in residence?
I was in residence.
Oh, jeez. So, tell me about how you were treated after that, because that couldn't have been an easy experience, even coming back from something like that. Who was the one that kind of helped you get help and get you out of that situation that you kind of put yourself in? Or are you okay telling that story?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you're helping people out there right now that could be in the same spot.
So, honestly, I didn't tell anyone. No one really found out.
So did you call 911 yourself?
The thing is, the way I did it was I kind of overdosed on pills, right? I took 6 times the dose that I was allowed, right?
Right. And what kind of pills, if you don't mind me asking?
These were benzodiazepines.
Okay.
So very, like, these are anti-anxiety drugs that are just very, very powerful. Like, imagine the smallest...
Lorazepam and...
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Or actually, Ativan.
Yeah.
Just imagine, like, the smallest pill that you could possibly imagine. That was the dose, right?
Yeah.
And I took 6.
Yeah.
And it's very dangerous if you took it with alcohol.
Right.
I took it with alcohol.
Right.
And the moment that I did, the thing is, benzos, they fuck with your memory, right?
Yeah.
So the moment that I did, I don't recall anything after that. I don't remember what happened. I just woke up. I don't remember what time of day that I woke up. I don't remember anything about it, really. I just remember, like, waking up, being confused, looking over to my bedside. There were pills and alcohol on it. So I was like, shit, I just attempted suicide, right?
Right.
And after that, I didn't want anyone to know. And I kept it to myself. And I just went on life.
Right. Wow. So you don't even really know. Like, you could have just gone to sleep and it wasn't enough to do the job. Thank God for that, or thank the universe, or whatever. Thank Buddha, whoever you believe in, right? So, wow, I can't imagine what that was like for you.
It's a scary thing, not knowing what happened, like blacking out during this period of time, and not knowing. That's a major fear for me. Like, I don't know what happened, and I woke up. I was in my jeans on top of my bed, like on top of the sheets, right?
Yeah, didn't get ready for bed or anything.
No, like I never wear jeans in my room ever.
Right.
I'm usually never on top of the covers. I'm under them always. So
Right.
it was just really confusing for me. I didn't know what happened.
Right. Right. Is this the first time you've really told anyone about that?
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you. So none of your friends really know that you went through this?
No.
How do you feel?
I'm kind of happy that it's now out there,
Yeah,
right?
that must be a big thing to hold.
Yeah, I bottled it up for so long, and now it's out there, and I'm glad it's out there, actually.
Well, you have 100% support from me and anyone on the podcast, okay? So if you ever need someone to talk to about this stuff, I can point you in direction of people that have also they've had multiple suicide attempts, and they're living fantastic lives. So if you ever get in that dark spot again, you just reach out, and we'll make sure that we kind of get you out, and hopefully we can kind of coach you through it a little bit.
Yeah.
So no one's a therapist here. We're just real people that, trying to help each other. But so first year was a rough year, and you were clearly, you were prescribed benzos. So you'd obviously talked about, was this for the social anxiety? So your doctor just thought, okay, she can handle this. If she gets a little anxious, pop one of these. Do you think that it's common for people to go to their medication given by their physician to try to end their life? Is that a common way? Because those are powerful pills. Yeah.
I feel like it is common.
Yeah. I guess we don't really know. We can't really comment on that. But I feel like the few people that I have talked to that have gone down that path, it's been the same medication that's supposed to help them, and they just tried to take as much of it as possible.
Yeah.
So thank goodness it was only 6. Yeah. It was just still a shitload for, especially someone your size, right? But thank goodness that you're still here with us.
Yes.
So tell me about the journey since that night.
I just, kind of bottled it up, and I never attempted since, because it was that fear of blacking out again and waking up not knowing what happened,
Right.
And, it's just the fear that, well, I guess not a fear, just the idea that death is not really certain. Like, you could shoot yourself in the head, you might not die, you could jump off a cliff, you might not die, you might jump off a bridge, you might not die, and it's just like...
You can end up in a pretty rough spot.
Exactly, and it's that fear of death not being certain, something bad, something like...
Even worse.
Yeah. Like, actually, living and being just... broken still,
right, in a physical way, or mentally completely, right, whatever. We don't even want to talk about that, but you're here right now, you're healthy.
Yes.
And the last couple of years, tell me, it sounds like first year was still one of those shitty days, or shittier type of, I go to day either being shit day or shittier day. So how did you get to, it sounds like this is within the last couple of years then. that you're now in the stage of okay or good?
Mm-hmm. So I kind of just opted to take out any stress by working out.
Okay.
So I started lifting in my second year.
Yeah.
And then towards the end, like starting my third year, I kind of lost interest in that because of my depression. You lose interest in things that, even though you're like really interested, you just lose that interest, right?
Yeah.
And so I kind of just stopped. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. And then I began doing personal training because I wanted someone to like force me to work out, because like
you were having a tough time doing it on your own.
Yeah, exactly. And like I know that exercising boosts your serotonin levels naturally, right? And I really wanted that because I know I had an issue, and that's how I went about it. And then cognitive behavioral therapy helped. And yeah, that.
So did you take any other medication besides the benzodiazepines?
I was on Cipralex, and
then I've been on that.
Yeah, and then Prestique, and medication's it's a complicated thing because like you're on it for like a few weeks, it's just side effects, and then you just like 1 month, 2 months pass, and then you're like, oh shit, it doesn't work for me, and then you have to wean yourself off, and then it's like withdrawal, and then you got to do that with a whole other drug, and it's just like this constant thing of finding what works out for you. And
the weaning yourself off is the worst.
It's so shitty. The withdrawal.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that we've kind of gone through a podcast previously and talked about how people need to research what it's like coming off, because eventually, unless it works for you and that's the one you're taking for the rest of your life, there's going to be a time when you need to know how to get off that, and sometimes that can be fucking tough.
Oh, it's so
almost all the time. Yeah. Excuse me. So you've gone through university now, and you are in which year?
I'm going into my fourth year now.
Going into your fourth year. And how did you find dealing with school and the depression? Like, did you ever get, flunk out of any classes, or you're a pretty good student? How did you manage it all?
I've never failed a course, but
wow, that's amazing considering what you were going through.
I know that I haven't, like these past 3 years, I haven't really put my 100% into it, and I know that. And because of the depression, I do get accommodation for school and stuff. Like I get extra time for like tests and stuff.
Right.
Because my mind's just so cloudy,
Right.
And so I have accommodation with services with students with disabilities at Western.
Right.
They're very accommodating.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good thing to know. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah, mental health is considered a disability for those who don't know.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And school's been tough though, because like I don't want to do it. I don't want to do the readings. I don't really want to go to class, but I force myself to, because I know that I cannot fail a course. Like coming from an Asian family, that's like that you cannot do that, right?
And that's another thing I wanted to just address while you're on here. Because I have, a lot of friends that are of the same background that you are, or similar, right? Asian, we'll just say Asian background. But the household seems to be consistent across the board, where it's strict, and a lot of people say, oh, I could never go on your podcast because what if my parents see?
Yeah.
And this is, so I'm proud of you, and I'm sure lots of your friends are right now, for explaining to us what it's like growing up in that environment and the things that you've gone through, because the amount of people that you could be helping with your story, and it's an incredible one, by the way, is fantastic. And I think that's really important. I think that people are starting to kind of say, you know what, my story is more important than what people think of me, including my family. And if they can't take it, fuck them. Right? And I'm not saying we're saying that about your family by any means, but people kind of, they've had enough, and it's just it's at that point where, you know what, I need to be who I need to be in this world, and I want to help those that are going through what I had to go through, so they're not alone. And so I'm proud of you, and I think that everybody else on this podcast is proud of you.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing everything with us for the first time. So tell us about good. I want to hear about the okay to good days. Tell me about that transition.
So after my CBT, starting...
Which was 7 months, you said, right?
7 months.
Yeah.
And, I just started looking at things in a different way. Like, it was kind of automatic for me, right? I nowadays I just kind of deal